Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to our latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly as part of our Roadmap to Recovery series. And you'll see that I'm joined again by Lee Hazlitt, who is the Vice President of Global Sales, Virgin Atlantic. He's been on a couple of times before over the last 15 months or so. And I'm delighted, Lee, that you're joining me today with a lot more positive news, because it's been quite a week or so for you with a lot of new routes being announced. So I'm going to put you on the spot now and get you to take us through all the new services that you've announced. How are you, by the way?
I'm very well. I'm really pleased to be with you. Thank you for the invite, Lucy.
Well, we're delighted to have you. So, well, let's start with the Bahamas. That was a great new announcement that you announced last week. So tell us about that. When's it starting? What's the frequency?
Yeah, as you say, it's a very exciting time for Virgin Atlantic and our trade partners. There is a lot of very positive news to share today. So if we start with the announcement from last week, we announced that we will be launching a twice weekly service from London Heathrow, starting on the 20th of November to the Bahamas. On a fantastic 787, a Boeing 787. And more importantly, today is the 11th of August and we go on sale today. So we launched last week, but it's officially, you're able to book that today. And one of the really encouraging things with the aircraft type that will be flying to the Bahamas is that it has 35 upper class seats at the front. And what a lot of you will remember out there in the trade is we used to operate a lot of 747s to a lot of the Caribbean islands that only had 14 seats at the front. And given the premium mix that you'll get to a destination like the Bahamas, having all of those upper class and premium economy seats is a fantastic for all of our customers. So yeah, we're delighted to be launching the Bahamas.
And I bet you've been tracking your sales figures by the hour today then. So what's the reaction been like? I mean, it must be great for agents to have something new like this to sell.
Yeah, I was really pleased. We did a lovely event with some of our trade partners last week to launch the event, and we got a phenomenal reception. And let's just say it's kicked off really well. The numbers are impressive already. There was definitely, for a lot of our research and talking to some of our trade partners, and we do talk and take counsel from them around where we should look to operate. And we got feedback loud and clear that the Bahamas was a great destination that they have really, really good pent-up demand for. And we're definitely seeing that on day one. So yeah, I'm looking forward as we get into the weekend, into those busier booking Friday, Saturdays, and seeing the numbers on Monday morning.
I'm sure you are. All right. Now you're joining us today from Edinburgh. And
I am. I'm in Edinburgh. I'm up in Scotland today.
And that's significant, isn't it? Because you made an announcement regarding Scotland today.
We did make an announcement regarding Scotland today. So we're delighted to say that Edinburgh and Edinburgh Airport is Virgin Atlantic's new home in Scotland. And we'll be launching two services from Edinburgh. The first is our Orlando service. Will move from what was Glasgow to operate from Edinburgh, and it will be flying flying again in April 2022. And then I'm also delighted to say that we will be launching Edinburgh to Barbados, and that will start on the 5th of December. And that is the first direct service from Scotland to the Caribbean, which is a fantastic opportunity for our trade partners in Scotland, but also all of those Scottish people that want to get away from that famous winter weather and get a bit of winter sun from December onwards. So yeah, we're really, really pleased. And the great thing about, I guess, Barbados is it offers such fantastic onward connections to the wider Caribbean. So seamless links to Grenada or St. Vincent or Tobago. So it really does create a bit of a hub and some great connecting traffic to other Caribbean islands, not just Barbados, for all of our trade partners up here in Scotland. So I'm delighted to be up here today in Edinburgh.
It's gone down really well, and I know you've got another trade event, haven't you, this evening to just spread the word even further.
We have. So we've got a group of our key Scottish partners together this evening in partnership with Edinburgh Airport, and I'm delighted we've got the Barbados Tourism and Marketing team with us as well this evening. So we'll really kick it off in style this evening, and it's great just to be up here connecting with some of our travel agents, and as you said at the beginning of the call, something really positive to talk to the teams about today.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned there how important Barbados is as a hub. It's a really important route for you. And I know you've talked about just pent-up demand generally to the Caribbean, and that's why you've increased capacity to Barbados. So obviously you've added the Edinburgh flight, but you've also increased capacity from Heathrow and Manchester, haven't you? Yes,
we have increased capacity because we are really seeing some phenomenal pent-up demand. And I think what is really prevalent and everyone can see it is as those travel restrictions around the world begin to relax, these services are responding to what consumer demand we're seeing out there. We've seen phenomenal business for the Caribbean for winter and into early 2022, and brilliant support from our trade partners. And they've told us that there's more that could be had, and we've listened to that and we've put more capacity on. But as we know, it doesn't stop there. It's just not just the Bahamas and Barbados. There's more as well.
I know you're not stopping at the minute. There's so many announcements. I don't know how you keep up, Lee, but let's not forget you've announced a return to St. Lucia. You've got a new flight to Montego Bay from Manchester, I think. And then I think another one to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So do you want to just quickly cover those off before we move on from the Caribbean?
We could spend a while talking about all of our new Caribbean winter services. So I'll be relatively quick. So yes, we're going back to St. Lucia, which is fantastic. Again, based on feedback from our customers and trade partners. So we're delighted we'll start a new seasonal winter service operating 3 times a week, starting on the 18th of December. So that's fantastic. Again, 31 upper class seats there. So, a great opportunity for our trade partners to sell those premium seats at the front. And then Jamaica, we're launching a new 3 times a week seasonal service, again from Manchester, our home in the north of England. And that starts on the 6th of November. Again, as I keep saying, lots of premium seats at the front there as well. So great for the Caribbean. And I think just in summary there, you may have picked up that I've spoken a couple of times about premium seats, upper class seats. We really want to be the airline of choice for the trade when it comes to premium leisure to the Caribbean, and the #1 operator from the UK, across the UK, Edinburgh, Manchester, Heathrow, to the Caribbean. We've got phenomenal support from our travel agency community, and we've seen that support through what has been a very difficult 18 months. We believe this gives them plenty on the shelves, if you like, to sell as we head into winter. And it's absolutely what we can see the UK consumer wants. And as I say, we want to be the best to do business with when it comes to the Caribbean. And we think with all of these new services, why would you choose anyone else to go to the Caribbean?
Wow, what a tagline. I think we should use that. All right. Now, of course, a lot of this is possible, adding all these services to the Caribbean, because you're still not able to fly some of your core routes to the US. Obviously, you can now do inbound from the US to the UK. That was from August the 2nd. But I mean, it must still be a killer for you that you can't fly people to the States, to some of your core, JFK and Orlando, etc. So what's your sort of insight on that? I mean, we're hearing it could be towards the end of September. Are you confident that might happen?
No, I think everyone knows Virgin Atlantic's position on this. We think it's essential that transatlantic travel corridor is allowed to open. The government must follow its own advice and allow the US to open. And I think it should be designated green, not amber. I think the data proves that should be the case. We know not just from a outbound travel perspective, which we know is so important to all of us in the UK travel industry, but also, there's 23 million in economic value that's being restricted. So we urge the UK government to work with the US, put it on the green list, and work with the Biden administration to remove that 212F, which has been in obviously for quite a while. It does put at risk hundreds of thousands of jobs from a travel perspective, and we're ready. We know that our competitors are ready, and we know as a travel industry we're ready. So look, we're hopeful for September, like a lot of us, but we don't have a confirmed date. What we are focusing on at the moment is where there are opportunities for us to fly. What I would say from a US perspective, you alluded to it, we are seeing very strong business from a US inbound to the UK. Some phenomenal bookings following the UK allowing double vaccinated passengers from the US in. We saw bookings jump more than 100% week on week. Bookings from New York, from JFK, post that announcement, increased 250% compared to the previous week. And then you also look at places like Atlanta, 161%, LA, 63%, Boston, 88%. And it's all for August, September travel. There is such pent-up demand for people wanting to travel. And we know that there's a lot of Brits that, again, want to get out to some of those famous destinations like Orlando or Las Vegas or New York. So, look,
how do you manage, sorry to interrupt, Lee, but how, obviously, that's fantastic demand, and I'm so pleased to hear that you're seeing that. But if you've only got it coming one way, how do you manage that as an airline when with that return leg?
Well, I think well documented, and we've spoken about this before, Lucy. I mean, we've made some very bold, decisive decisions through the pandemic, and one of the things that we've been able to leverage and done phenomenally well as an organisation is spring up a cargo operation, and we've continued to fly regularly to the US all the way through pretty much since June last year. We fly a number of rotations that are cargo only, and we fly some that are passenger services. So you may see a flight go out from the UK to the US as a cargo flight, and potentially it would come back as a passenger service. So we continue to balance that demand based on where we can ensure that the flight is cash positive from an income perspective, either with cargo revenue or with passenger revenue. And often people are really surprised to hear when you look at our current schedule, we've still got 12 passenger services a week to JFK flying right now, 13 cargo only services to JFK. We've still got 7 per week from a passenger perspective to Los Angeles, plus 3 cargo only. And the kind of list goes on when you look at what we're flying at the moment. So we're very, very focused on ensuring that it's cash positive, and where there is passengers that we can fly, and there still are passengers moving that need to move. But it's ensuring it's cash positive, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do need those restrictions to be lifted, absolutely.
No, we all do, and I think now is the time, hopefully, as we head into September, that we can start to see that.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you think it should go straight to green, which obviously brings us to talk about the traffic light system. And of course, the last announcement, we were expecting an announcement, we were expecting a review, but a lot of people were quite surprised that destinations like India went to amber, which we were not expecting. And I guess that's quite an important route for you. I guess, has it become more important in the last week or so?
Yeah, absolutely. India has been a very strong route for us. Obviously, it was hit quite hard by the pandemic in recent times and moved to red. We've seen some phenomenally strong performance post that announcement. Great support from a number of our friends and family agents within the trade. Again, shows there's real pent-up demand for families wanting to reconnect. And yeah, it's a very important destination for us, and will continue to be, and we're really seeing that. But I think that is a indictment of the situation that we find ourselves in as a travel industry at the moment, that we're beholden by surprises that come along the way, where a destination goes green, amber, amber plus, watch list, and the impact that has on consumer confidence. People will pile into that destination very, very quickly, very close in. But it also shows that there is continued pent-up demand for travel, and it will rebound.
Yeah, and I know that you have spent a year having to be really nimble and fleet of foot and change things really quickly, but it must be so hard planning routes and managing to turn things around really quickly and making sure you've got enough aircraft for the different routes that suddenly become viable.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that has been one of the real success stories of Virgin Atlantic in the last 18 months. We used it as an opportunity to redesign our organization. We knew we'd have to take some kind of bold, decisive action early. We had to make some difficult decisions with regards to people and how many bases and offices we have in the UK. But we have, as we stand today, we've emerged stronger. What I really do is I take my hat off to our network planning team. The amount of replanning they have to do to where we can put the aircraft and where we can put it profitably. It's phenomenal. We've got a phenomenal team there that have done a great job to ensure that we act as nimble as we possibly can. We're agile in our approach, and we capitalize on the opportunities that are there. But what we all want, which I know is a constant frustration for our corporate customers as well as our travel agencies, is we'd love to get back to that network stability. You'd love to be in a place that you can plan a customer's holiday knowing there's not going to be late changes or movement. But we will get back there. We'll get back there as an industry. But at the moment, we have to continue, like all airlines, to be as nimble as possible. But we need to get back to that network stability and that stability of being able to freely travel.
Yeah. So the network planning team do their job, and then you just have to sell it, Lee. That's your role.
Absolutely.
How's it been going? Because I know we've spoken before, and clearly it's been so tough at times. But are you seeing, I know you've talked about some surges in interest on certain routes, but are the trade coming through for you? Because you have been, pretty constant and well engaged with the trade. Are you seeing some really good response from them?
Yeah, absolutely. And let me take this moment just to say a massive thank you to our travel trade partners. We have been overwhelmed with the level of support that we've had in the last 18 months. By far our biggest sales channel is our trade channel. We hope that everyone can see that we are fully committed to travel agents and fully committed to the travel trade. We've been, I believe, more active in the last year, 18 months than we probably have in the previous few years. We know how important travel agents are, certainly when there's uncertainty for a customer to travel. We're really starting to see those kind of green shoots of recovery. If you look at the network that we're flying today, as I alluded to earlier, US inbound is doing very well. Yes, we've still got a bit of US traffic, UK US traffic traveling out, but we need that US border open. But if I look at how well the Caribbean has performed in the last 18 months, and now with the extra capacity we put in and the support we've had there, we've still got phenomenal bookings on the books for destinations like Orlando and Las Vegas and New York for further out. And the ability of travel agents to retain those bookings has been phenomenal.
And you've got good far out bookings, and then are you now starting to see a few more short? Is that the kind of how it's?
Yeah, I think generally consumers at the moment are moving to where they believe it is, I guess, safe to travel, as well as based on that government traffic light system. So we're seeing, as soon as a country changes from amber to green, you'll see a big rush of bookings pretty quickly. So if I look, August is trading well, September is trading well. I expect with the announcements that we make today, as we head into post the school holidays into September, which is traditionally a key booking period, we'll see some pretty good sales for the Caribbean into the winter months of October half term and also December. And then you've got a big chunk of business that is further out. We're still seeing the likes of February half term and then into Easter selling very well for traditional leisure destinations like Orlando and some of those Caribbean destinations. So it's either really far out or it's really close in. And we can even see that with some of our out-of-date range bookings, which are much further out.
Okay. All right. Now, there's loads more I want to talk to you about, but before we move on, you talked a bit about profitable routes. And this whole idea of being profitable is important, isn't it? Because it's been well documented, some of your financial struggles in the last 18 months. You've come on and talked about that very candidly, and thank you for that, Lee. The latest story, I know it's a rumour, but you're being tipped for potential listing on the London Stock Exchange to raise more funds. Is that something you can talk about? Is that just a rumour, or is that something you're seriously looking at?
It's not something I can comment on today. We're not in a position to comment on any speculation. What I can say is we're financed. I think it's well documented when I came and spoke to you about our 1.2 billion solvent private only recapitalisation that we did back in September. We also then topped that financing up in January. As I said, we're focused right now on cash positive flying, maintaining our cargo operation, which has delivered record performance, and continuing to see the results that we've seen in the past few weeks flow through into the rest of this quarter and into Q4. And then when the US border does finally open, we're well positioned to capitalise on that.
Okay, good stuff. All right, a couple more things or developments from your side. You've moved back to your home in Terminal 3 at Heathrow. How does that feel to be back?
Oh, it's fantastic. We moving back to our signature Virgin Atlantic experience at London Heathrow with the wing, the clubhouse, that arrivals experience. And I was there on the 15th of July when we reopened, not only seeing the customers, seeing our teams, and then we also invited a group of our travel trade partners down to see it as well. And I think the thing they were most disappointed with was the fact that we took them through security. They had to bring their passports, and we took them into the lounge and had a lovely afternoon in the lounge. And then they were surprised that I didn't surprise them with a flight somewhere. But it's phenomenal.
But the lounge experience is such a big part of the Virgin experience, isn't it? So it must be good that you can be back there and be able to offer that as part of the whole package.
Our customers love it. And all I'd say is we've got record NPS. Since we opened on the 15th, we measure on our customer net promoter score. It's as high as it's ever been for the clubhouse and our airport experience, which is phenomenal. So, our customers are telling us they love it. It's what you expect when you travel with Virgin Atlantic, a premium long-haul tour operator, airline, and you can see customers absolutely love it, and more than anything, our people absolutely love it. You can't forget that our lounge staff have been out on furlough for the last 15 months. So seeing them back where they want to be, working in the lounge, delighting our customers, was just phenomenal to see on the 15th. And then what was also really encouraging was the number of customers that on the day upgraded to upper class was unbelievable to see. And we're really seeing that as a trend. We're really seeing as a trend that people want to fly in premium or upper class.
When do they upgrade, Lee? At what point do they then suddenly go, actually, I'm going to spend a little bit more and have that experience?
We've seen a lot of people do, as I say, we saw a lot of people do it at the airport on the day at check-in. Yeah. And that is an expensive way to do it. That anyone that knows in the trade will know that's an expensive way to do it. So I would challenge travel agents to really try and sell that kind of premium upper class experience. We know that there's a lot of people that are avid, travelers to the US or the Caribbean, and they haven't had their holiday for what is nearly 2 years. And a lot of people have saved a lot of disposable income in the last couple of years that are ready to upgrade and pay more, and you can really see that.
Yeah, and why not agents get a slice of that? So very good advice. All right, and the other thing that's changed is that you've reopened your onboard bars. Of course, I know that you still have to wear masks in social areas, but your bars are now open and people are eating or drinking. It's pretty much as normal.
Yeah, absolutely. So on board, we've opened our loft on the A350 and our bars in upper class, and where those destinations are obviously amber and green, we've done that. It's back to that Virgin Atlantic experience. You'd expect there's a few things that are different, as you would expect still, but it's got all of that Virgin Atlantic flair and spirit that your customers and our customers love.
Okay, brilliant. Now, you mentioned a little bit earlier about some of the personnel changes, and I know you, like many travel companies, had to go through some pretty tough times. But with regards to your team, Lee, I think you've made some changes that would be interesting to agents watching this. You've got some new people joining you.
Yeah, absolutely. As I alluded to, we went for a lot of change. One of the things that I was really keen as a sales organisation is that we ensure that as we come through this crisis and rebuild, is that we have the best possible team in place to ensure that we're there to support our trade partners. So I'm delighted that we've got a few new hires within the team. So first, we had Tom Maynard join us as our Director of Sales for the UK and global accounts. Tom will lead our corporate and business sales. He joins us from BCD, the TMC, and previously to that, he's worked internationally for McKinsey & Co, based out of Singapore and then also in New York. He'll bring some real energy and industry experience to our business sales and corporate team. We've also had Nikki Goldsmith join the team as our Director of Sales for Leisure, and also she runs the Caribbean point of sale and the Caribbean teams. Nikki will bring some real energy, definitely, great personality, perfect fit for us in the trade, and she's so passionate and a real expert in leisure and leisure sales. So I'm delighted that we've brought her into the team. And then we've also brought Rachel Wilton. Rachel is our new head of sales operations. Rachel's role is to ensure that we live up to our vision, which is to be the best airline to do business with in the trade. So Rachel is there to ensure that we are operationally fit, that we provide the best tools. She runs our sales trade support team. We're building a new trade extranet. We're looking at how we incentivize. And Rachel brings a formidable background in running retail stores across the UK from a trade perspective, but then also some real operational rigor and digital background. So I'm delighted that we've got her in the team as well. That's the UK team. And then we have the international team with Simon as our Director of Sales in the US, Liesl in Middle East, India, and Israel, based in Johannesburg. And then also Estelle, who is leading our APAC region based in Hong Kong. So the team is in place. Our account team are back. So the majority of our account team are working some flexible working, but they're back in from August and September, and they're ready and they're here to engage. So we're really excited heading into Q4.
We're excited. It sounds like between Nikki and Rachel, there might be some exciting things on the cards for Travel Weekly readers and people watching this webcast. So, I mean, I know you're obviously our headline sponsor at the Agent Achievement Awards, which are coming up on September the 16th. And actually, Yuha, your Chief Commercial Officer, is speaking at our Future of Travel conference. So, yeah, as I said before, you have remained really engaged. But is there anything any snippets? You mentioned incentives. Have you got anything? You are known for some fun competitions and BAM trips and things like that. Is that round the corner, or is it still some way off?
No, absolutely. We and I've challenged the team to ensure that we are and have been first out of the blocks. So we want to, when you're ready, we want to engage. And if I look at what we've done in the month of July and into August, we've had lots of different trade events, in-person events, to not only launch new routes, but also to engage and talk about our fantastic new network, our fantastic new aircraft, all the things that we're looking to do as we rebound and recover as an industry. We are the headline sponsor of the AAAs. What I would say is, I don't want to take away from Nikki's thunder at all about what she will potentially announce at the AAAs. If you want to hear about what we're going to do, read about it or be there in person or watch it.
Wow, there we go. That's you've thrown down the gauntlet there. Well, we really want to see everybody there. I'm excited you're going to be announcing something. We'll make a big fuss of that, absolutely. And we just wish you all the best, Lee, because you've got an awful lot to do now. Yeah. All these new routes to manage. But it sounds like, you know, the reaction and the response from agents has already been good, and I hope that continues. And we really look forward to working with you as you continue to grow that network and get back to where you were before, once things are allowed.
Thank you. We appreciate all your support, and we appreciate all the support we've had from our travel trade partners. And here's to a good Q4 as we head into it.
Well said. All right. We'll see you soon, Lee. Best of luck.